will straight away start taking. I will straight away start taking the syllabus straight away. So let me take the concepts of our syllabus. So if you see, I didn't separately make the PPTs, because when I make the PPTs, it will become difficult for you to again convert into the notes and then understand and then learn and write. So I directly made the Word document so that it will be easy for you to understand and then write down the notes. Okay. So here in this semester, we will be learning about Python and the programs of the Python. So I wish all of you can do. Actually, you don't need to download any of the Python softwares into the systems. If you have the laptops, or your cell phones also, only with your Gmail ID you can log in and then work out all the Python programs. I will try my best to give you the notes and the syntax so that you can just sitting at any place wherever you are, just write the syntax and you get the outputs of it. So there is a software called Google Colab. Go to online and then in Google, just type Colab. I'll show you how to log into that. And then once you log in, automatically the new notebook will come and you can start working on the Python programs. Python is the one which is very, very user friendly, and it makes anyone to easily, user friendly means itself that we can easily learn them and then execute the programs very easily. Syntax also is very, very simple and very easy. Once you know one or two lines or one or two libraries, how to import and how to work on it, it is such easy one. Then, of course, Python is actually a very old language. When we see it, it has begun in the year 1980. Very, very almost 35 years. I can say 40 years old program it is. Was first developed in was released in February 1991 when Guido van Rossum, he was working on C. And then he wanted to do something differently, so which is a user-friendly program. And that's where actually he was not working on any of the softwares. He was working on some flying circus concepts, and he found out Python program. And of course, when you look into the features of Python, it is a general purpose language. Anyone can use, from military to normal people to any scientific people. Anybody can use Python in a very user-friendly manner. And it is a wide range applications, from web development to web development like Dango and Bottle. All those things are the simple ones. Scientific and mathematical computing, we can call SymPy or NumPy, or desktop graphical interfaces, data visualization techniques, as well as more programs into Panda 3D and Pygame. So many features are there. The syntax of the language is clean and length of the code is relatively short. When we see C, C++, and other programs, they really consume a lot of time and more syntax oriented. Syntax oriented means they are very case sensitive, and commas and other things are very, very specifically you have to mention. You cannot miss anything. Suppose unless you write the whole program, you cannot execute. So many things are there with the other languages. Whereas here at every step you can just enter and then check the program whether it is functioning or not. Go to the next step, go to the next step. So that makes it very easy for Python to learn and then write and understand it. The versions of the Python are 1.0, 1.6, 2.0, and 2.7. Each one was released at different intervals of time. One is January 1994. Then second one is the last minor version. Then the Python 2.0 introduced the list of comprehensions. Python 2.7, last minor version, introduced in 3rd July 2010. Python 3.0, it emphasizes on removing duplicate constructs and modules. 3rd December 2018, 3.5 13 September 2015. And now what is executing is 3.6.6 from June 18th onwards. So these are the different versions of Python that are in present day executions. I hope all of you are able to hear. Can I see the thumbs up? Is my voice clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good. So Python language is used in, you can say, in business, in science, in research, development, defense, space, education, multimedia, gaming systems, entertainment, and most of the places for predictions. Mainly, it is used for predictions. Predictions means, suppose I want to know the sales predictions. I want to know the food delivery predictions. I want to know the credit card authenticity of the credit card, or I want to know how many frauds can happen. So for anything Python is used as a software, and it is easy to write the code and all. Python provides different flavors to adapt to the technology and environment pertaining to the scientific field. The bytecode is intermediate code, which is in translated and executable code. We don't write anything like in the C and the programs. We write very simple code, whatever we are in the mind, that only we write. But of course, little how machine understands, that part we need to keep in mind. But most of the places, it is very executable, very happy to work on. Features of Python, if you look into there, it is Python is actually rich and extensive. It has extensive features. I mean, n number of features are there to integrate and adapt the script and libraries. We have all user-friendly libraries which we can just download them and start working with them. Then the multimedia tools, operating tools or web development tools, mobile application tools, and embedded softwares, all those are there with the Python systems. So we just can have the mobile phones, and using the mobile phones, we can execute the Python programs. Of course, not very big ones. We can work with the small and medium programs in the cell phones also. They are that user friendly. Easy to write and understand. It is the first important thing what we need to understand about Python is it is a high level language. Of course, all exploratory data analysis and all when we do, it's just actually speaking very difficult. And we write the data what we take and execute in the Python programs runs into 10,000 lines to 1 lakh lines. Large number of data sets. There is a separate repositories, we can say, that is the Kaggle repositories, UCI repositories, where data sets are stored, n number of data sets are stored. We can download those data sets. When you download those data sets, the data sets have at least 10,000 to 1 lakh lines of rows of data will be there. So such huge amounts of data can be executed within no time. That's where Python is into the real world. So easy to write and understand. Of course, it is a very high language, but still it is easy to write. The code is easy to write and understand. Free and open source. Anyone can just download it and then start working on. We can have different types of different ways of downloading Python programs, Python softwares. One is the Anaconda, Jupyter notebooks we can call, or Google Colab is there, or we can have from python.org, we can have the downloads. From there, we can download the Python source code, and then we can start executing. So it's just very easy to download, very easy to execute. Then expressive. Python has a huge number of language constructs to solve any kind of problem without focusing much on the syntax. That's what I told you. It doesn't focus on syntax, and anything at any point of line, it will just quickly give you where you went wrong, how you went wrong, and then gives you the what do you call, the prompts where you can just check where you went wrong and correct it immediately. Of course, we need to know the basics of how a system understands, I mean, how a machine understands. Those simple, suppose, for example, I say, I have a number, I want to enter a number 34. 34 is called integer value, right? Suppose I want to enter my weight is 73 kgs, 25 grams. So if I put 73 kgs, 250 grams, then the system should understand that it is a float. Float means we call it as the decimal values will be there. Suppose I want to write my name. My name is like a string or characters are there in that. So these are the basic things how data types we call. These data types, if we know, and then if we put them, just what is understandable for the machine. If we write the code in that manner, it is easy to execute. Then portable. Write code on one machine and run code on any other machine. You can do this because everything is, you can make it online. So definitely Python code is portable, and you can write the program in one code, and then probably you are unable to complete it there. You want to go home and execute it. You can open from the home and start working on it. So that's where from one system to another system, it is very easy to execute. Then platform independent. Of course, it is very, very platform independent. You can use Windows, you can use Linux, you can use Unix, you can use Mac, OS, any operating systems you can use for Python to execute. Then extensible, it can be extended to other languages. Just a second. So it can be extended to other languages like C, C++, Java, etc. So you can execute the code of Python in these programs also. Interpreted, Python code can be executed instruction by instruction interactively. As I told you, you don't need to write the whole program. Suppose I have a 50-line program or a 100-line program. I don't need to write the whole program and then start executing. What will happen is, if any error is there, it is not possible for me to trace out where the error is there. You have to go back and check from line 1 onwards. But when you run Python, it is at intervals. You can execute the program and then check whether there are errors in that program or not. And if there are errors, you can correct then and there, and then start the next process. Whereas it is not possible in the other programs where you have to do the whole program at one go, and then huge errors, if they are coming, then it becomes difficult. So Python interpreter convert one instruction to byte code and execute this byte code to produce the result. After that, it takes another instruction, interpret that instruction, and then take next, like that. So it's very important to understand the interpretation of the code or execution of the code, what we are writing or what we are giving to the machine to understand and execute it. So procedure oriented, Python has a flexibility to write our own functions, and of course, user-friendly functions, user functions. If I want to define any new function, I can happily define. And after defining it, I can give the restrictions or parameters where the function can be executable. That part also Python supports it. So use the ready-made functions in the program from the libraries, which saves a lot of time and the replication of the code. Some libraries are there where we have the functions that the built-in functions we call. Those functions are already there. Apart from that, if I want to write any new function for the program, what I am executing, so I can write the new function. I can define what parameters are there, and it will work by default. Then object-oriented. Object-oriented is a model which is using any real-world object, can be transformed into the software object. Python provides features of object-oriented program. In C++, you have learned about OOPS, object-oriented programming. You remember? Probably any one of you, if you are learning C++, you will know it better, or C programs. So it is object oriented, so that you can have the encapsulation or abstraction, inheritance, multiple inheritance, and polymorphism. All these things are possible with the object oriented programming. Then developer productive, or whoever wants to develop, there is unlimited, it is limited to debug, and fewer to maintain, very, very less debugging can happen. Unlike the compiled languages like Java and all, Python programs don't need to compile and link, which further boosts the developer speed. So because it does not have the compiler separately, C and all have the compilers. We don't have, Python does not have the compilers. So directly it is interpreted and then you get the executed solution for it. So it is easy to work on it. Then flexible GUI programming, graphic interface programming, user interface programming. So this has PySide or PyQuit and Wigets. These things help with the graphic user interface, where data visualization techniques help it in a much better way. Also, Python program can easily integrate with the 3D animation softwares like 3D Max or Blender or Cinema 4D, etc. All these things are possible with Python. Then flavors of Python, when you see, Python is a specification of a programming language. There is actually, Python is not like we think that Python is a snake, and because of the snake, the program name has come as Python. No, it is simply an animation part of it, and they felt that this is very nice to be called as, and then that's where the software has got its name. So when we go to python.org and hit the download button, we get the CPython, which is a default, most widely used implementation of the Python programming language. The university notes has most of the part is given as downloadable Python softwares, whereas you can have definitely, because I work with business analysis concepts where Python programming and R programming are taught. So where we do the programming and all in Colab, which makes it very easy and user friendly. So CPython is one program where it is also, this is developed by Guido van Rossum, who is the interpreter of the Python, creator of the Python. It is one of the implementation of Python, which is written in C language. Of course, he was working on C language only, and then from there only the program has come up. So there are some variants in this CPython. One is the cross-twine linker. Cross-twine linker is an engine we can call, and it accelerates the Python execution up to CPython execution up to 5.6. Expect some situations. To a large extent, it executes. Then stackless Python. CPython program only has stackless Python and concurrency using the tasklets and channels. It uses the tasklets, small bits type of things, which makes it easy to understand, and then the flow of the program becomes very easy. Then unladen swallow, an optimization branch of CPython intended to be fully compatible and significantly faster. This unladen swallow helps it to work in a much faster way. Then WPython, a re-implementation of CPython using word code instead of byte code. We don't use byte code in Python. We use the word code only. Directly, whatever you want to write, you write in the word code, and that's where WPython word code has come. Then MicroPython. Python for microcontrollers runs on the PyBoard and the BBC microbit. So MicroPython is also one thing where it runs on the small controllers or small these things. Then eGenix PyRun combines a Python interpreter with an almost complete Python standard library into a single easy to use executable programming. So including Python 3.4 and 3.5 supports. All the latest versions of Python will be supported by this eGenix PyRun. Jthun, Actually, you can call it as JPython. So Python in Java for Java platform. If you are using the Java platform, JPython can be there. If you are using C platform, then it is C Python will be there. Or we have Brython, where a way to run Python in the browser through the translation of JavaScript. And CL Python, we can have common libs. It is a list processing program. These are the different versions. So don't just learn the names. Don't worry about the execution and the process of these things. HotPy, Iron Python, all these are the different versions of Pythons. So PyJS, PyMite, PyPy, PyVM. PyVM is the, you may be, nowadays you might have seen the virtual machines. Virtual machines, what you wear it and then you see the 3D effect and the 4D effect as if you are there present in that situations. So all those things, it is called the virtual machines, and Python supports those things. Then RapidScript, SNAPy, TinySpy, and transcripts. These are the different versions of Pythons which runs on different platforms. The following table shows the summary of Python flavors. I just kept everything at one place so that it will be easy for you to write the program, write the answer and learn easily. So I will forward this file immediately after the class so that you can start preparing. If I send it in the PPT form, then PPT will have only the bullet points, and bullet points is not easy to learn and then reproduce the answers. So I thought this is easy for you to prepare for the exam purpose also, right? So name, all the names and the description, just now what I have explained, the same thing is there here, okay? Then bytecode of Python. Python code goes through two stages. The first step compiles the source code, .py we call, or PYC files, which is actually a bytecode. Then this PYC file or bytecode is interpreted using CPython, JPython, or any Python flavor interpreter. Then Python bytecode is an intermediate language used by CPython. So generally, we call it as PYC or PY Python like document. How do you write DOC, or Excel files, XLSX, like that? PYC is the .pyc is the file's name, how you are going to store the Python files. Then advantages of shipping PYC files over PY files. What are the advantages? Suppose if I want to have the byte codes to the word codes, or if I want to change them, then what is the easiest way to? Because compilers are already inbuilt. We have to only put it and then get executed. Interpretation is important, and we focus more on the direct interpretation of the byte codes. See, it will directly interpret the byte codes. We don't need to write any code in the bytes and all. We can directly write in the word format, and then it interprets into the bytecode to the system and give you the output as desired. Then they are compact, so easy to transmit over the network. Load faster, as only interpretation of the bytecodes is required. Compilation into bytecodes can be skipped because we don't need to compile it. Compiler is not necessary in Python, right? Provide some securities, as you are not sending the source code, but it is easy to decode and get the bytes. If I want it, I can always, that can be done at the backend, but otherwise not necessary. Not compatible across Python releases, as the magic tag changes. The PYC file format is different and hence not recognized by the, some of the places it is not recognized by the interpreter. Generally, it looks like this. Suppose I'm defining a function. If you see the user code, I'm writing my own function. So definition, function func. I write the function name as func. A comma B, how A comma B should work. It should return me A plus B. When I write A comma B, it should write A plus B. Now, how the Python code module works on, it loads fast. Everything will be taken as 0 and 1. So load fast 0, load fast 1. Binary add. What is the function, what we are asking it to do? For add, I'm asking it to add. So binary, it is adding, then return value. So it will easy binary add, first pop, then it works on adding, then the syntax will work like this at the back end, and we'll get directly the answer. Or Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine, it is an interpreter written in C language. Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Clear, right? Second unit, we have more programs. So if possible, how much time is there? Already 57. Yeah, half an hour. I'll try to make it at the earliest. So Python virtual machine for Python, what you can say is written in C program. For Python or C Python, we can call our Jython, C#, IronPython. These are all the machine languages what we have. It looks like this. Source code will be .py. Python symbol generally will be like this. Then C Python, the compiler will be there in C. So C Python compiler. Then JPython, bytecode will be there. It will be getting converted. Then virtual machine or whatever we spoke. It works on any of the platforms, whatever we can say, native machine code. And then finally, actually these all things can be neglected, and directly we get the library modules it takes and then give you finally the answer. Not necessary that it goes through the bytecode compiler and all. Then this concept is very important. Frozen binaries, memory management, and garbage collection. Very, very important answer, this one. Frozen binaries are nothing but converting Python programs into true and standalone binary executables. Frozen means we are making the program to understand that, yes, I want middle interpretation, data compiling part we have removed, and we have frozen the binaries. These are the things that has to be done, executed. That's called frozen binaries, converting Python programs into true standalone binary executables. These are the one, whatever syntax you are writing, that syntax has to be executed. Then next one, okay, I'll go into the binary, frozen binaries of Python. Very important answer. Frozen binaries bundle together the bytecode of the source program files along with Python virtual machine, that is interpreter, and any Python support files user program needs into the single package. Everything, when I download a library that has everything in that. We don't need to separately tell that studio input output. In C program, we write at different levels, we have to import different libraries, whereas it is not necessary here. Whatever you require, at once you import, most of the functions will be executed in that libraries itself. So there are some variations on this thing, but the end result can be single binary executable program. Okay, so .exe file on Windows can easily be shifted to the customers. So here, interpreter and from the source code and the interpreter and the executable files, all will be run parallelly, and then you get as a single package, which we call it as frozen binaries of Python. In the frozen binaries of Python, we have three types. One is called py2exe, py2exe. It is Python scripts into executable Windows programs. Converts, pay attention, this one. Converts Python scripts into executable Windows programs. If I write something there and then I can just install it and then start working on it. Very easy. It can freeze standalone programs and that use the tknitter, PMW, WX Python, PyGTX, GTK, GUI libraries, etc. Python, the programs that use the Pygame, which is a game programming toolkit, and Win32com, client programs, and more. So most of them, don't worry about the terminology and all. You don't need to remember all of them. Simply site headings, if you know, it's more than enough how it works on. Because most of them are built-in functions, so we not much to by heart and all. py2exe, just remember, converts Python scripts into executable Windows programs. And they are able to run without requiring Python installation. I don't need to install any Python software into the systems. Directly, I can work on just by looking into the file, exe files of the Python, you can start working on it. Then Python installer, it freezes or packages Python programs into standalone executables under Windows, Linux, Mac, OS, FreeBSD, Solaris, and AIX. Its main advantages over similar tools are Py installer works on the Python 2.7, 3.4, and 3.7 and builds smaller executables. Simple executables can be done through Python installer. And last one is the freeze. Makes frozen binary Python programs to ship from one computer to the other because all are binary files and it can be executed. Then frozen binary tools can be fetched separately from Python itself or can be downloaded from the web. So these are not the same as the output of a true compiler. They run bytecode through the virtual machines. This is important. They run the bytecode through the virtual machines, but not, we don't need as a compiler. We don't need separate compiler to run the program. It is built in, and on the virtual machine it runs and gives you the output. Hence, apart from the possible startup improvement, these run at the same speed as the original source files, and you get the programs very fast. For example, if Python programs, you write the code or the software, then Python virtual machine or the interpreter, it just understands what is the Word document, what are the words you have written it. From that, it understands it, converts into the binary program, and then makes the machine understand it, and then starts giving you the output. It's such simple one. See, for example, 110 is there. And C Python is written in C, which does not natively support the object-oriented programming, but Python can do it. Because of that, there are quite bit interesting designs in C Python code. Everything in Python is an object. Even types such as int means integer, and str means string. String means, suppose my name is Uma. So Uma is a string. So characters, when I put, it is called the string. Memory management in Python. Okay, I first let me, that is done. Let me go to memory management. Last one is the global interpreter lock. C Python implements. C Python implements this lock. Is an entire interpreter to avoid or prevent the Python applications to store in different values on the same memory locations. By default, if the interpreter is changing, then it will not allow it to work on that. Then memory management in C. Whatever you are doing, how the memory works, anything, whatever you are entering into that, it will put into the slots and then store it. So Python has many implementations or flavors like CPython, JPython, etc. I just told you. Small objects pass through 3 abstractions. Abstractions means blocks type. So first one is block, second one is pool, third one is called arena. So arena is a large chunk of memory, whatever you are installing, whatever you are giving, generally of the size 256 KB. It is aligned on the page boundary in the memory. A page boundary is the edge of the fixed length contiguous chunk of memory that the OS uses, operating system uses. So arena is the first where you are having all your memory just gets into the systems. Then you have arenas are implemented as C structures with the following fields. So first it needs to know where is the address, which location it is placed, any file. Suppose, for example, you are storing your file into the system. For example, a document is there. How do I store my document? I open some folder, in the folder, another folder, then another folder, something else, I'll write the name. I need to know where it is exactly, the address of it. So that part Arena does. Okay, so it will write the addresses, or the address of the Arena is written by malloc, and pool the address and free pools. So it has to pool it block by block. If you can see, these are the free pools, then structured into the objects, and then block by block it is stored. This is how the Arena free pools will work on. So it is divided into three parts. One is Arena, and one is pool, one is block. So this is all the notes about it. This is how it looks. I can use it more bigger. Yeah. So these are the free pools. Every time we'll have this free pools. Whatever untouched, you can see untouched means the information is not yet come. It's free pool. Then we have whatever is already stored, and then completely it will allot the memory. I mean, the space is allotted in the memory, dark green. It is full. See, this part is full. This part, still more spaces are there, so that it can compress it and then take some more. So, and then here, whatever is used is in the dark green. Light green is still free, and this is not done yet. So like that, it is storing its memory part. The total number of pools in the Arena, whether or not available, or free pools, singly linked list of available pools. Okay. But remember, in the first semester, you have learned the binary code and the octadecimal, etc. So it stores everything in the binary code, only 1, 2, multiples of 2. So like that, it gets stored. So this is how it stores, but this all backend part of it, which may not be really that very important for you to by heart it. Then comes the garbage collection in Python. Most important is the garbage collection. Whatever we write, it refers to moving the unreferenced objects to the space called as garbage. What is not referenced? I gave, for example, I have some information what is necessary. I kept that information in a particular storage area. Whereas the other things, what is not necessary or unnecessary information is there, that should go into the garbage. So we call it as garbage collection. As we already know, every object in Python has a reference count and a pointer to a type. Python object whose reference has dropped to 0 will be moved to the garbage. The reference count gets increased for a few different things. The reference count will increase if you assign it to the another variable. Suppose I write a equal to, or int equal to, or string, for example, data frame equal to, something you are assigning it, then its value will keep increasing. It will also increase if you pass the object as an argument, is equal to or not equal to, or is greater than when I'm writing. So such kind of things, if you are making it as an argument, then it increases its value. The reference count will increase if you include the object in a list. List means I'll put all the names, suppose Deepti, Jeevana, Rajini, like that. I'll put it in the list, then that value still more increases, the reference count. So Python allows to inspect the reference count of an object with the sys module function. So this is how the module function will be given. Sys gtref count. Like this it will be done, which increases the reference count by 1. In any case, if the object is still required the code, its reference count is greater than 0. And because it is greater than 0, it will be allocated into some storage place, storage area. And if nothing is allocated, that means its value remains 0 and it will be pushed into the garbage. Automatic garbage collection. Because reference count or reference cycles take computational work to discover, garbage collection must be scheduled activity. Python schedules garbage collection based on the threshold of the object allocations and object deallocations. To every object you give, probably in a course of time, you're not using that object and then you're not allocating any value to that. Then it automatically decreases its value and it will be sent into the garbage. Allocations and deallocations keep happening. Manual garbage collection. Invoking the garbage collector manually during the execution of the program can be a good idea on how to handle memory being consumed by reference cycles. So all this part, no, don't worry. These things is just the back end, how it functions. In the front end, it's very simple, very easy. Okay. There are two ways for performing manual garbage collection. It is time-based or event-based garbage collections. Time-based garbage collector is called after a fixed time interval, it will collect the garbage. And after the occurrence of the event-based garbage collection takes place. Comparing Python with C. One second. Comparing Python with C and Java, installing Python and NumPy for Windows, setting path, executing first Python program. This part, one second. Okay, the following tables, this is important. The following table shows the comparison of Python with Java and C. If you see carefully, it is object-oriented. Python is object-oriented. Java is also object-oriented. It has come out after the C++. So Java is object-oriented, whereas C is not object-oriented. Platform independent. Of course, Python is platform independent. Java is also platform independent. It is extremely simple compared to Java, but C and Python both are almost in the same manner. More secure, all your files, executable files, and all are secure. Whatever code you are writing, whatever you are executing, all those things are more secure. Architecture neutral. It is Python and Java they are neutral to the operating systems. Portable, of course, they are portable. Robust, you can use it anywhere. Multi-threaded, Python is multi-threaded and interpreted. High performance. High performance is given to, compared to these things, Python is a little this thing. Distributed, of course, it is distributed, dynamic, broad standard library. It has huge libraries. It has interactive mode. Of course, databases are very good for this. It can take any kind of databases. It can work with SQL. It can work with C. It can work with Excel. Anything it can take up and then start working. Extendable GUI programming user, because we have the data visualization in Python, exploratory data analysis in Python. So GUI programming is very, very important. Then easy to understand, multimedia support and web scripting. These are some of the differences between Python and Java and C program. Let me show you how to work with. Any doubts you have? You have any doubts in this program? Hello, following?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Following, ma'am. No doubts.
Achha, no doubts. Okay, that's nice. I will forward the notes to you. So you have any next class, you can ask me if you have any doubts. Okay? Now,
Yes.
I will show the unit 2 part and what are the data types. Unit 2 onwards, it will be very interesting and you will like this subject more nicely. So we have the objectives, introduction, data types in Python, comments, document strings, variables, built-in data types, bool data types, sequences, etc., etc. So many things are there. All programming we will be working on. Okay. Understand data types. First of all, let us understand that Python is a programming language. Because it is a programming language, we need to know some syntax, some standard rules will be there for any machine to understand. We have to have the standard rules, and it needs to take the data in the way. If I know 1 to 9 are called the digits, and anything which is used with these 1 to 9, we call them as numbers, right? So like that, for 5.6, 3.4 fractional part, or integers, or other things, everything we have to define some name to them. So we call the interpreter acts as a simple calculator. This is where, one second, I'll make it a little more big for you. Yeah. So Python, first of all, if I want to write any comment, for example, in a program, I want to write any comment, then I can use the hash symbol. This symbol, if I use and then write this, whatever you write after this, it is not executed. It is for our reference. We are writing the comment. Then shall I show directly one or two programs that will make it easy for you to understand? We have little time. 1 second. Let me stop this. I will share one more. Yeah. So what I will do is how to write any program in C. I will show you. So now this is the Google Chrome page, and in the Chrome page you can just type you can just type here Google Colab. Colab, Python you can put directly, or Colab. First of all, you need to understand that in any system you should be logged in with your mail ID. Right? So Python runs with your mail ID. So it is a cloud-based software where you can just, because you are logged in, all your files are stored in the cloud. So that is where from one system to another system, it is portable. You can execute from any system, because you are logging into any system with your mail ID, password. So you can just Google Colab, you can open and then start executing. So I'm opening the Colab. So welcome to Colaboratory. You're able to see welcome to Colaboratory will be there. Now, because I'm logged into the system, this my laptop, already my mail ID is there. I'm logged in. So it will directly open me a new notebook. Okay. So if you have not, then just you can try these steps. First log in, have your mail ID on the laptop or on the desktop, wherever you are there. You just log into your mail and then keep open a new tab in the Google. Once you open the new tab in the Google, then go to Google Colab. Like this page will come. Welcome to Colaboratory Google. So open this Colaboratory Google. Like this page will come. You can start a new notebook. Down new notebook is written. Can you see the new notebook? So open a new notebook. My notebook is already there. What I have written, the files. So I'll open the new notebook that is already there. I will share this file. I may not be able to share, but the simple programs I have written for you to work as a homework by the next class. So you can do them. If you are not getting anything, you can just, we will discuss in the next class. Okay. So like this, I will open the new notebook. Yeah. So the first program, let's start doing the first program today. The string, I told you any information, whatever you are writing, whatever you are saying. This is not. 1 second. Just a minute. 1 second, children. I will reduce because I have written something else. There is another program. Just a second. I'll open an easy one with which you can understand it easily. Yeah, this is better. I'll zoom it. Can you see the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now you see, when I write hash, that means shift and 3. Shift 3 simultaneously if you press, then we get hash. Program starts here. Okay. Now I want to print hello everyone. So simple program, hello everyone, I write. But whatever I want the print to come, I have to put it in the inverted commas and then write in between inverted commas. And always remember the built-in functions, we have to write it with small letters only, no capital letters. This is the only syntax that is necessary for Python. So print hello everyone, then print welcome to the world of Python. And I want to write the program hence here. Welcome to the class. So suppose I wrote this syntax now. This syntax I want to execute. To run the program. See, in C, if you have seen, we run the C program, we write this thing, we ask the compiler, and if compiler does not show any errors, then we run the program to give the output. Whereas in Python, it is not like that. We can just directly do it. And then when I run this program, you get the output by default. See here. The program is running. As long as it is running, it will show. See, the output has come. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the world of Python. Welcome to the class. These are the 3 print statements I gave. Correct or not? So those 3 print statements has come directly. So this is how we can start writing the simple program. I didn't write anything very difficult, which is this part is extremely simple and very easy for you to write and learn, right? Then I'll go to the next program. Okay, I want to add. Suppose, for example, I want to invite you to the class, or I want to tell something. So adding string name, I want to know your name. So name is equal to input. I want to know your name. So I have to ask you, please write your name. So input, and whenever I'm asking you to write your details or user details, for that, what I have to do, I should not put the inverted commas, double quotes. I have to put the single quotes we have to say. So these are the single quotes we put. Single quotes, your name, colon, and space, close the brackets. Age, then I want to know your age. So input, your age, give space. If you want, you can give little more space and close the bracket. Then print, how I want to welcome you. Welcome, write name, then print, hi, name, your age is something. So this is the syntax I wrote. I just want to run this program. When I run this program, now it is asking me, see, it doesn't ask you input your name. It will ask your name because here I wrote, okay. For example, my name is, see, here I wrote name, input your name. So first, what am I asking? Your name I'm asking. So it is asking me name. So I wrote Uma. And then I'll just enter. Once I enter, then it is asking my age. So 45. Enter. So it already wrote. See, welcome Uma. Hi Uma, your age is 45. It writes by default what is the age. Like this simple programs, when you start writing, then you will understand how we can, how Python works, and then how easy Python programming is to execute. Some more I'll show you. Prepare the list of rainbow colors and assign the name rainbow. Reduce the size because the whole thing is not coming. Prepare the list of rainbow colors and assign a name rainbow to it. List I have to put. Print the second item in the rainbow list. So first I want to write a rainbow. So I wrote rainbow, some name I have to give is equal to. Now when I'm putting it the list means I have to put as some code. So I have to put the square brackets, simple brackets. See, when I'm writing the print, I will use the normal brackets, right? Round brackets I will be using. For each one, there is a defined way of writing the program. In the print and built-in functions, when you are writing, input is a built-in function, print is a built-in function. For them, we are writing in the normal round brackets. Whereas I'm defining now the list. When I'm defining the list, it is a list. So Python understands that when you put the square brackets, it is a list of items what you are giving. So list of items, when we put like this, each item, whatever you are including into the list, should be kept in double quotes. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, all those names, everything. So now I want to print rainbow. I want to print 0. Remember, in the list, the number starts with, the place values starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, there are 7 items. But Python understands the first value as 0, first place as 0, second place as 1, third place as third place. Means for each place, it will allocate the value as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So here when I say, I want the first what is there here. In the first place, what is there means I have to ask it to give it as 0. When I want 4, it will take the 4th place. See here, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th place, what is there? That becomes 0, 1, 2, 3. 4th place, blue is there. So blue value it will give as the output. Again, I will run this so that it will be easy for you to understand. So n number of times you can run this program. So suppose if I want to change, I will change it as 3 and then run again. Let me see what answer will come. See, 3 means 0 place, 1 place, 2 place, 3rd place is green. So it has returned as green. I hope all of you are understanding. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So like this, we can write the programs. I'll show you one more program. So I want to reverse the rainbow. So reverse means red, orange, yellow, blue, green, I wrote, no? So I want to reverse it. So what I do, I want to write the names. Then I want to, when I write reverse, let me run this program, reverse rainbow. Error has come, 1 minute. Some error has come. Okay, next concept I'll show you. Just wait it. Okay, some arithmetic function I'll show you. So arithmetic operators, when I say A equal to 10, B equal to 20, print the sum, it will automatically print the sum. So some of them of these things I will send you. Second unit is completely based on these programs. Small programs are there. What I will send it to you all so that you can prepare well. Okay, so let me go to Unit 2. Quickly, I'll run through the Unit 2 Python. Two docs. So Python coding styles, all that code and all, mutable, immutable, like this types of string text type is called str, numeric types is float, int. Complex means if you have the complex numbers, means you can write a plus bi, like that type of things. Sequence, list, tuple and range, then mapping types, set types, all these things are there. We will be learning each and every one in each of the classes. So for today, I have done the first three types: string, int, and then float. List also I did. Tuple and range onwards. Next class I can work out. I will send the files to you so that you can start working on. Next class I'll make it more clear. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, then. So we'll end the class here. I will send the notes, go through the notes. Any doubts you have, you can just pin me. Or in the next class, list out, and so we can discuss in the next class. Okay. All the best. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
luck. Learn well.